Let's review everything we have seen so far before moving on to the 7th chapter of the Bhagwad Gita. Arjuna begged Sri Krishna on the battlefield for the right direction as he was filled with grief. In the chapter's opening, Krishna delivers a potent message. He wants us to recognize his genuine nature and fullness first. He demonstrates how the lesser attachments to material things will naturally go if we start to form an attachment to a higher ideal. Typically, when we are struggling, we turn to our wealth, family, and friends for support. However, none of these can ensure their support, and they are all untrustworthy. Sri Krishna declares that he will disseminate all knowledge of God in his formless aspect as well as the insight to discern it. Those who pursue this spiritual understanding, according to him, are incredibly uncommon in this world. Only a handful of the thousands who attempt will truly understand Krishna in his actual, fundamental essence. Although millions visit the temple, fast, or offer worship, they do not fully understand the Lord's essence. According to Krishna, our universe is made of 5 physical elements in addition to the mind, body, and intellect that make up nature. Earth, water, fire, wind, and space are the elements. These 5 elements or building blocks were used by the Lord in the creation of the entire cosmos. He is present in all 5 elements, which indicates that he is always with us and present in all things. He also acts as the unifying force that keeps the entire cosmos in place. Without him, atoms would be randomly flying around. The teacher, Sri Krishna, is systematic. In this chapter, he enjoys classifying and categorizing knowledge. He divides devotees of God into 4 categories. First, those who are hurt. Such devotees turn to Ishvara for assistance when they are having problems, such as health or financial difficulties. Normally, if they were wealthy or did not experience any form of suffering, such devotees would not have recalled Ishvara. God accepts them as his followers despite everything. Second, the inquirers. Such individuals pursue information in all of its facets, including economic, scientific, creative, and even spiritual understanding. Saraswati, the goddess of knowledge, is revered by them. Third, righteousness, meaningfulness, desires, and heaven are all parts of the concept of liberation. In other words, such a devotee is aware that to achieve nirvana, he must devote all of his time and energy to this world. Lastly, the person who understood that there is nothing other than God is known as the intelligent ones. God is what he sees in everything. Then he goes on to answer another interesting question. Who is the real God? Which actions will make God happy? The sense organs, the eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and skin, are where we spend the majority of our waking hours gathering information. We tend to view everything through the lens of these 5 senses because of our frequent exposure. These senses ultimately constrain what we may perceive. The real God is outside our 5 senses. The intellect and our voice are unable to go there. Our brain is trained to distinguish between 2 concepts, place and time. Space-based items are the only ones we can see, hear, touch, smell, or taste. We also detect changes in those things, which is simply a function of time. Therefore, anything outside space and time is invisible to us. We can say that nature, space, and time are illusions. As a result, humans are unable to understand the transcendent God, who has no dimensions. We are unable to comprehend God's true nature, which transcends both life and death. He is beyond time. Because he does not understand the idea of time, there is no past, present, or future for him. He can know everyone who has ever been, is currently, or will be in the future. According to Sri Krishna, we are compelled to consider in terms of likes and dislikes, love and hatred, which we have seen to cause us grief. So how do we start thinking holistically and get rid of our loves and dislikes? The answer is karma yoga. We significantly reduce likes and dislikes by consistently carrying out deeds in the service of a higher ideal. We are better prepared to pierce the illusion's screen once we have freed ourselves from the grasp of the sense organs. According to Sri Krishna, only those who act selflessly are suitable to approach God. We move from the level of the individual to the level of the cosmic in the 7th chapter's concluding shloka. Let's imagine we spend the entire day simply thinking about an ice cream and going to bed thinking about it. What would come to mind when we wake up the following day? Ice cream, naturally. According to Sri Krishna, our final thoughts determine our fate after death. When we are dying, if we have a worldly thought, that is how we shall end up. But if we have God in mind as we approach death, we will reach God. The takeaway from this is that we should learn to focus on God while carrying out our responsibilities in this world. Sri Krishna emphasizes that a knowledgeable devotee practices karma yoga to purify his mind and intellect, and has prepared himself for meditation rather than one who is motivated by blind faith. The Gita study is like taking off in a plane. Each chapter advances our comprehension to a new degree. For more such content, do not forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel.